I'd like to call the meeting to order. Can we get roll call, Tori, please?
Councilmember Scribner. Councilmember Wiggins.
Here.
Councilmember Pokencourt.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Davies.
Here.
And Mayor Smith. Councilmember Scribner and Mayor Smith are both absent today. Thank you.
Could we have everybody in the audience stand in council? And we'll have our invocation tonight by Pastor Dale Fry with the Tehachapi Nazarene Church.
Will you guys bow your heads with me, please? Dear Heavenly Father, please first let me say thank you on behalf of all who are gathered today. Thank you for your many and abundant blessings. Thank you for life itself and the many blessings and gifts you provide that we need to fulfill our callings. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. Thank you for loving us from your boundless and gracious nature. In the scriptures, you have said that citizens ought to obey the governing authorities since you have established those very authorities to promote peace and order and justice. Therefore, I pray for our various levels of city's officials, for our leaders gathered here today, in particular for this assembled council. I am asking that you would graciously grant them wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues of our time, a sense of the welfare and true needs of our people, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, and personal peace in their lives and joy in their task. I pray for the agenda set before them today. Let your hand be in all that is spoken and all that is said, and allow your spirit to fill the room. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved city of Tehachapi. It is in your most blessed name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Susan, would you lead us in our pledge, please?
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Consent item. All items listed with the asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by city staff. Consent items will be reconsidered first and may be approved by one motion if no member of the council or audience wishes to comment or ask questions. Do we have anybody from the audience who would like to remove anything from the consent item? Council? Okay. Can somebody entertain a motion, please?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Wiggins?
Yes.
Councilmember Pokencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Davies?
Yes.
It was a 3-0 vote to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there any I'm sorry. I will be entertained. I'll get it right here. Thanks, Greg. Public comments. Do we have any public comments from the audience? I see none. Council? Okay. I see we have no public comments, so I'm sorry, guys. This is my first time doing this, so I'm kind of a little nervous here, more than normal. Yeah. Thank you. We have a presentation by Rob Ball with the Kern Council of City Governments. Welcome, Mr. Rob.
Thank you, Chair and council members. Excuse me, Mayor. And well, the mayor's not here today, so you're
Mayor Pro Tem.
Pro Tem.
Yes, sir.
I too am nervous. Okay, so I'm Rob Ball. I'm Planning Director with Kern Council of Governments, and Kern COG deals primarily with helping the cities and the county decide what road to build next. And so we do, as required by law, a 24-year long-range plan of transportation expenditures based upon historic transportation expenditure rates, and if those rates continue, how much funding we might see, and then we try to program projects. So this is the long-range plan. We're required to update it every 4 years. And so I have here the summary of some of the information. We actually do continuous public outreach on this plan. So in the past 4 years, we've garnered input from over 7,000 participants in Kern County into the Regional Transportation Plan. There's a summary of some of the public outreach and some of the information there that we have there. There's also a summary of some of the benefits and a breakdown or some of the planning assumptions that go into the plan by math projects, that kind of thing, as well as how much gasoline tax we're collecting right now when you're up at almost $6 a gallon. About 25% of that is going into the gas tax funding and various funding sources. And also, if you look at the last page of the first stapled handout, there's a breakout by some of the sub-areas, and the bottom one is Tehachapi. Tehachapi is receiving about 6% of what we call early expenditures, or those projects which are funded within the plan, and about 10.8% of the next in line project. Those are projects that are in the plan, but we haven't found funding for. So we're working hard to work with you guys to apply for grants and go after those funding sources. And you know, the Tehachapi area is about 4.3% of the county's population, so you're getting well represented by your mayor and Mayor Smith on our board. And what we're asking today is for people to look at that last list. And the last list is a list of the projects that are in the greater Tehachapi area. And go through there. If we're missing something, we'll try to incorporate it. If we don't have the boundary description correct or just right, we can do that. You can see it's broken up into projects that are ready to go, and then projects that are next in line. Next in line, we don't have funding for those projects. You can get me feedback on this at any time, but also starting Friday, the plan goes out for a 55-day public review. And so you're getting a special VIP preview of the heart or the meat of what's in that plan. And so I encourage you guys all to review that, provide us feedback. If there's something that's really big that we've missed, because there's an environmental document associated with this plan, we may not be able to get it in until the next cycle, but if it's something, a correction or whatever, we'll work with you and your staff to be able to get that in. And be happy to answer any questions related to this item at this time. It's just an information.
All right, thank you, Rob. Appreciate your time. And I know Mayor Smith has worked with you guys many years, and he's always got a lot he brings us up to date when his meetings and everything, so it's been good to have Mayor Smith on that council. Do we have any does anybody have any questions for Rob from the audience? Council?
No, we just look forward to the future in the climbing lane.
There are public copies of this too at the back.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
I did need to make, if you're online or watching this later, if you go out to www.kerncog.org/RTP, there's also a longer one, but if you just do /RTP, that'll get you to the website, so you can also look at not only the preview list, but also the environmental document and plan when it comes out on Friday.
All right, thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. All right. Next item is item 8, Cherry Lane Water Main Replacement Project. Development Services Director Jay Slosser will give the report.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. I've got a couple items for you tonight. The first, as you stated, is the Cherry Lane Water Main Replacement Project. So, let me go to my report real quick. Apologies. So this is a water system maintenance project. So this project seeks to replace approximately 1,700 feet of 10-inch diameter pipeline on Cherry Lane between Brentwood Drive and Tucker Road. So the main exists in that size now, but it's frankly given us numerous problems over the last several years in terms of major maintenance associated with leaks and breaks in that line. You may have noticed there's a section of pavement, if you drive that route at all, that's relatively new. That was pavement. We had to repave the road because of a fairly sizable water main leak there, and frankly, we just continue to have issues there. So the city, as part of our water rates, collects funds to do long-term maintenance. So that's what is happening tonight. So we prepared a bid package for the reconstruction of that pipeline and advertised for bidding. Bids were opened on March 29th, 2022, and the bid results are contained in the staff report. 3 bids were received. Staff undertook a compliance review and determined that the low bid provided by Trico General Engineering was deemed to be responsive. The fiscal impact, the project construction and construction administration costs will be funded from the Water Enterprise Fund, and this project was included in the adopted budget. So my recommendation is that you award the Cherry Lane Water Main Replacement Project to Trico General Engineering in the amount of $438,276 and authorize the city manager to approve any necessary change orders up to a maximum of 10% of the construction cost, or $43,827. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Jay. Do we have any public comments from you? I'm sorry, do we have any public comments? Did we have anything online or any emails or anything?
No.
Okay, all right. Council?
No.
Okay. I need to entertain a motion for Cherry Lane Water Replacement Project.
I so move.
Second.
All right. So Bogey made the motion, and the second was by Mrs. Wiggins. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Wiggins?
Yes?
Councilmember Pokencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Davies?
Yes.
It was a 3-0 vote to award the Cherry Lane Water Main Replacement Project to Trico General Engineering in the amount of $438,276 and authorize the city manager to approve any necessary change orders up to a maximum of 10% of the construction cost.
Thank you, Jay. Great. Number item will be a public hearing for community facilities. I'll open a public hearing. Notice of public hearing and correspondence. Ashley?
It was published on April 7th in the Bakersfield Californian and on April 13th in the Tehachapi News, and there was no correspondence received.
Okay. And Jay, you'll give us a staff report?
Yes, sir. Okay, second item I have for you is annexation number 1 to the Community Facilities District number 2017-1, named the Public Services, CFD. Shortcut the staff report. Resolution 2217. Back in 2017, you all created CFD. The CFD we're referencing tonight, mostly associated with the Walmart project. This is a special tax levied against the properties associated with that CFD, specifically for the purposes of providing additional funding for police protection, street maintenance, and landscaping, although those funds are general fund dollars and are not permanently tied to those uses, although that's what we use them for. The annexation territory, track map number 7363, is the address project produced by Comprehend and Copy Nature. This is the development project proposed at the intersection of Highline and Tucker Road for 238 single-family units. One of the conditions of approval, as you all might recall, for that project was to annex themselves into the CFD. So tonight you're going to take the final actions associated with that CFD. And so we hired Wildan Services to prepare their tax analysis and to provide the work associated with this annexation. And resolution number 15-22 adopted by this council on March 7th set tonight for the public hearing for this action and to adopt the attached resolutions associated with the annexation of this territory into CFD 2017-1. So we did send a ballot to the property owner associated with that project. We're going to find out how he voted here in just a minute. But the proposal is to, A, hold a public hearing, which we're doing right now, declaring the results of the election and adopting the resolutions to annex the project into CFD number 2017-1. And so I'm going to go ahead and walk you through it step by step. The first item, as you've done already, is open the public hearing. So I'll yield the podium here in a second to receive any public testimony or any property owner protests that might be associated with this action. And then when we're done with that, I'll give you the next step. So.
Okay. Do we have any comments from the audience? Was there any comments received, emails, or?
Nothing was received.
All right, thank you.
So now
We need to close the public hearing.
Okay.
Close the public hearing.
We'll close the public hearing. We'll turn it back over to Jay.
Very good. Okay, so thank you for that. We'll go ahead and open the ballot next. So we did receive the ballot, so the clerk is going to open it and read the results of the ballot.
It's a yes vote.
Very good. So there is only the one property owner. They technically represent 57 votes. That's the number of acres of land associated with this, but as it's one property owner, we received one validated yes vote as expected. So now there are two resolutions that we need to adopt, but I'd like to take them in the sequence that's presented in the staff report. And so my first is a resolution, and so I therefore recommend that you adopt the resolution of the City Council of the City of Tehachapi annexing territory tract map number 7363 to the Community Facilities District, authorizing the levy of a special tax and submitting levy of tax to the qualified electors, the City of Tehachapi Community Facilities District number 2017-1, Public Services Annexation number 1. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys might have about that operation, but this is a two-step process. In summary, what you're doing is opening the ballot, recognizing that the property owner is willing to enter into this CFD, and then you are declaring the results of that election and then instructing staff and the taxing agency to apply the levy. So, in summary. So that's my first resolution I would request that you make.
So we're going to separate them?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion for Community Service District 2017-1 annexation number 1 resolution as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve that annexation as presented by staff.
And I second that.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Wiggins?
Yes.
Councilmember Pogencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Davies?
Yes.
It was a 3-0 vote to adopt the resolution as presented.
Okay. And now we'll go over the second district.
Yes, sir. So the second action is that you are going to adopt a resolution of the City Council of the City of Tehachapi declaring the results of the special annexation election, determining the validity of all the prior proceedings, and directing recording of the amended notice of special tax lien, City of Tehachapi Community Facilities District number 2017-1, Public Services, annexation number 1. So again, happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, that is my recommendation.
Do we have any questions from, comments from the audience? Council?
Do you have that track map at all, Jay?
I did not include a copy of the track map in the report, but I'm happy to describe the property if it helps. It's the the northeast corner of Highline and Tucker. So if you know where our little bike path parking lot is,
Yes.
there on Tucker Road, it's from the edge of that property south to Highline. And it's bounded between Tucker Road and then Tehachapi Cummings County Water District's canal that is there on that side. So it's about a 57-acre parcel, and that's where that's located.
Anything else? Okay, I'll now entertain a motion that we, motion on the Community District number 2017-1 annexation and resolution as presented.
I so move.
Second.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Wiggins?
Yes.
Councilmember Pogencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Davies?
Yes.
It was a 3-0 vote to adopt the resolution as presented.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Okay, next is city manager reports. Great.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Susan, you have anything to report?
No, things are running smoothly. No one is making hate calls to my house, and I'm happy.
Joni? Okay. I have nothing. Just thank you, everybody, for your support. And Mayor Smith's having a good time in Texas, so I spoke to him yesterday. So it's kind of a little different when you're sitting here on the microphone doing it yourself. So I'm get used to this one of these days, maybe. If there's not anything else, I'll adjourn to closed session. After closed session, Tom, you'll come out if there's any more. Okay, thank you. Close it.